Okay, so today we're gonna have a look at this pedal called Super Octave OC-3, and I use it quite a bit when I play as a duo, so maybe with a singer or with another instrumentalist like a sax player. And reason being, it really fattens up the low end. Obviously, it's not quite, it doesn't always work. Sometimes you want to keep that very organic, acoustic sound, so to speak. But I find that for some styles like funk and pop, and sometimes if you play maybe just like a blues, let's say if I want to do something along the lines of like, stuff like that, that will work quite well because it really adds a bit of, bottom end of weight to that sound, so to speak. Okay, so it's quite simple. This is both for guitar and bass, and it has two separate inputs. The guitar in and bass in. Obviously, I'm in the guitar in input at the moment, and it has a mono output. That's where I'm plugged in at the moment. There's a direct output to some of the other modes. The first knob here is the direct level, so the clean level. This is the level of the octave, and this is it's connected to that. So the drive mode, I'm assuming, is just some saturation. Then the second mode is the octave 2, so which is a bit like a sub octave. That a lot of bass players tend to do that for more like new R&B type stuff, or like drum and bass. So you want the 2 octaves down. And the last one is the poly mode, which is what I'm using. When I'm in poly mode, basically this knob splits the frequency spectrum at a certain point, at a certain value, and it basically under that value it adds an octave down. So I usually tend to, around that G. Obviously, it's not string specific. It's to do with the frequency, so it will be from one note down, because this is just so let's say that G, if I have the pedal on, you can see that if I, let's say, go up from C, the octave starts to become weaker and weaker, so to speak. And usually I try to put it so that I find that a good split point is that G, that I don't know what the exact frequency is, but you can do by ear, by, turning that dial, that knob. I find that that's a good split point because, I want these 2 strings to be, fully an octave down. And then I want, let's say, at least 3 strings where I can play clean chords, so these 3 notes, these 3 strings, will be just the octave of the guitar. So yeah, so I find this to be quite handy, and especially for duo gigs. I don't really play bass. I mean, I did for a while, and I tend to do it more for like recording. So we'll probably just use it to, as an effect to, certain like funk ideas, so to speak, but funk bass lines. But obviously, you have to be aware of stylistically where that fits, so to speak. I found that's this is one of the very few pedals that does that. It splits the, a certain frequency, so you can add just the low end to the low strings. I'm not sure if you can do it, nowadays with things like Helix. I should look into it. But I found that, to my knowledge, this is one of the few pedals that does that. If you actually know any more, put it in the comments. If you have any experience with this, put it in the comment section. This works quite well also with acoustic guitars as well, because it gives it more of that acoustic bass kind of feel. And but I wouldn't use it to strum, because obviously then when you're strumming, it just becomes quite muddy. It doesn't quite work as well. I would just only use it for finger picking. Either you're playing a bass line, or maybe like backcountry western. I'm not sure if that works, but that's the idea. I found this pedal to be quite useful, as a gigging musician, so to speak, when I do certain type and more like R&B, funk, pop type duos, so to speak, and with a bit of jazz, maybe if you want to give it a bit more, make one tune different to the other, basically. Excellent. So if you found this helpful, subscribe, share, leave a comment, and if you want to leave a comment, for any questions that you have about playing guitar or theory or any sound thing that you're trying to look for to copy, just send us a message, and I'll try to make a video at some point. This is all in my own time. Take care. Bye bye.